The Siege of Constantinople, 717 to 718, was a pivotal event in the history of the Byzantine Empire and a critical moment in the struggle between the Byzantines and the Arab Umayyad Caliphate. It marked one of the most significant defeats for the Umayyads and helped to solidify the Byzantine Empire's survival for centuries after the event. 1. Background: the rise of the Umayyads. In the early 8th century, the Umayyad Caliphate under Caliph Sulayman had expanded rapidly across North Africa and into Spain, with ambitions of conquering the Byzantine Empire. After successfully taking over much of the Mediterranean coast, the Umayyads set their sights on the heart of the Byzantine Empire, the city of Constantinople, the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. The Byzantine Empire at the time was under the rule of Emperor Leo III, who had come to the throne in 717. The city of Constantinople, heavily fortified and strategically located, was seen as a symbol of Byzantine strength, and its fall would have been a major blow to the Eastern Mediterranean world. 2. The siege. In 717, the Umayyad Caliph Sulayman sent a large army and navy to besiege Constantinople. The Umayyad forces, numbering around 80,000 men, according to some sources, arrived at the city's walls with great expectations of success. They brought with them massive siege equipment and a fleet of ships to blockade the city by sea. The Byzantine defense of Constantinople was bolstered by its famous Theodosian walls, a massive double wall system that had withstood sieges for centuries. The walls were reinforced by an array of defensive tactics, and the Byzantines had also developed a powerful weapon known as Greek fire, a flammable liquid that could be used to set ships and siege equipment on fire. 3. The key events of the siege. The Umayyads initially hoped to starve the city into submission by blocking its access to supplies. However, the Byzantine defenders, led by Emperor Leo III, proved resilient. The winter months of 717 and 718 brought harsh weather, and the Umayyad forces found it increasingly difficult to maintain their siege as supplies dwindled and their morale faltered. Meanwhile, the Byzantine navy, using Greek fire, engaged in successful naval battles against the Umayyad fleet, inflicting heavy damage. In 718, the Byzantines managed to break the Umayyad naval blockade and bring in supplies, weakening the siege. The Arab forces also suffered from a devastating plague that decimated their ranks, further crippling their ability to maintain the siege. 4. The Umayyad retreat. By the spring of 718, the situation had become untenable for the Umayyad forces. The combined effects of Byzantine resistance, the failure of the siege, and the devastating plague led to a decision by Caliph Sulayman to lift the siege. The remaining Arab forces, weakened and demoralized, retreated from the walls of Constantinople, marking a catastrophic failure for the Umayyad Caliphate. 5. Consequences and legacy. The siege of Constantinople, 717 to 718, is widely regarded as one of the most significant military defeats in the history of the Umayyad Caliphate. The failure of the siege halted the Arab advance into Europe and preserved the Byzantine Empire for another century. It marked the beginning of a long period of stability for the Byzantines, and the event would later be viewed as a key turning point in the history of the Mediterranean world. The victory also strengthened the leadership of Emperor Leo III, who was later credited with saving the Byzantine Empire from the threat of Islamic conquest. The successful defense of Constantinople helped to solidify the Byzantine Empire's identity and its role as a bulwark against further Muslim expansion into Europe. The victory was celebrated by the Byzantines and is still considered one of the defining moments of the empire's military history. In the broader context, the failure of the siege also marked a decline in Umayyad power, eventually leading to the rise of the Abbasid Caliphate. For the Byzantines, the event laid the groundwork for the resurgence of the Eastern Roman Empire, which would continue to exert influence over the region for centuries to come.